another session of the Humidor, where we discuss sports and other topics. On today's news, we had some unfortunate news. It seems like we've been losing legend after legend. Another great legend has passed away, Muhammad Ali, great fighter, great person all around. I know for me personally, for an amateur boxer, I give credit to where credit is due, and I know this one is really tough because I compare, as boxing is one of my favorite sports, I compare boxing a lot to life. As I get in the ring, not only is it physical and mental, I think about how life is that way as well. Life, when you get in the ring, you have people who are in your corner, people who are not in your corner, and you're in there fighting a fight. And you're trying to prove to yourself who is the best. So I wanted to start that off with giving a toast to Muhammad Ali, a great legend, definitely the GOAT, greatest of all time. Does anybody else want to speak on that or speak on Muhammad Ali and your thoughts on him?
I'll give it up. I'll kick it off. I don't know how to really put it. We're not old enough to actually watch him in his prime. Like, let's say when he had his fights, like in the '60s and the early '70s. Like when he did the Thriller Manila, I think it was like '74. I was 3 years old, so I'm not eligible to speak, say how great of a fighter he is. Now I watched tapes. I've seen it. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. What I give it up for, and I think why people call him the greatest is because of what he did out of the ring.
Exactly. That's the same thing I wanted to speak on.
And for a person to be like, he was one of the biggest athletes at that time, right? '60s, '70s, one of the biggest athletes. The man said, "I'm not going to war." He took a stand, and he said, "I'm not going to war," and he was willing to give up his whole career, which he did at the time. He ended up giving his whole career up for 3 years. He was at the top of his game. He was the best fighter in the game. And he gave up his career because of something he stood for. And I was always told, you stand for nothing. You stand for nothing. You fall for anything. That's one of my kind of quotes I kind of live by. But I think he's the greatest of all time because of that. And I think we respect him because of that. Back then, black athletes wasn't doing that, man. And you definitely wasn't giving up your whole career for a cause. So I give it up to him for that.
Well, I'll go off of someone who I don't really believe in the GOAT titles, the greatest of all time, but if there is one, then Ali definitely is it. Like you said, Kev, what he did, not only with the inside the ring, but outside the ring. I mean, he was a heavyweight that moved like a lightweight, with the same power as a heavyweight. I mean, the guy was great. If you Google confidence, man, his picture probably pop up. He was entertaining. I mean, the whole nine. Me being a boxing fan, he's one of the first fighters I ever saw fight. Even though it was later in his career, I didn't get to see the first Fraziers and the Liston fights live. I think just getting a chance to just see him, period, or just hear him. I remember watching interviews with him and Howard Cosell, his classic interviews. And so, man, Ali stood for so much, like you said, to go against the draft. And everything he stood for, even changing his name, we all forget it was Cassius Clay, so he's really stood, he stood by Malcolm X, he stood by Martin Luther King. I mean, just a great man all in all.
I think another thing is his life inside the ring mirrored his life outside of the ring, as far as everything that, he did outside of the ring.
And people forget that back then, they were fighting like 3-4 fights a year. It wasn't like now. And they were fighting, 15 rounds back then? Like 15 rounds. And they were fighting 3-4 times a year. It's not like now where you may fight once every 12 months. So he was in there, man. And then to be battling Parkinson's for 32 years, man, that's something else.
That's a fight in itself.
Right, that's a long time. He died at 74, so he fought Parkinson's for 32 or 74 years, man. Yep. That's a long time. So, I mean, that in itself, but he still, even with that, he would still get up and speak and speak against, any injustice to black people. So for Muhammad Ali, man, if it's a GOAT out there, I got to give it to him.
One thing I want to say about Muhammad Ali, keeping it on a positive note, is he invented one of the traditional boxing terminologies and one of the traditional boxing techniques, the rope-a-dope. He'll on the rope, and he'll dodge those punches. He'll let you get tired and exhausted, bounce up off the ropes, and before you know it, he hitting you with 2, 3, 4 combos in the face and the gut. Muhammad Ali was electric. He was electricity, and I got mad love for Muhammad Ali to the fact that I named one of my daughters after his daughter, Layla, because she used to punch her mom in the stomach all the time. Peace out to Muhammad Ali. We love it.
I'll end it by saying, you know, in business, sports, life, Muhammad Ali said he was great when he first came out.
Greatest
So he said he was great before he did it. Everybody in life, if you're going to be great, you got to act great, even if you're not great, because sooner or later, it's going to happen for you. It's all about seeing yourself in the future. And he saw himself in the future. He was great when he started, and he was great when he ended.
Have you all realized that George Foreman after Thriller Manila did not want a rematch?
Well, George Foreman also said
Was you the only one?
And he did not want to fight Ali again.
He said
Was
that
you the one
he George Foreman did say
For the
that
paper,
he
but
threw
man.
a punch. He said that he threw one of the hardest punches ever to Muhammad Ali,
Mhm.
and he took it.
Took it.
He
Yeah.
took it. It was a jungle in the ring.
I mean, just for somebody, because I mean, it was for the title. As big as Thriller Manila was, you realize it was never a rematch, right? In an era where you get all these rematches, unless you Floyd Mayweather, that's another topic. But in an era that he didn't want to fight again. How many times did Frazier and Ali fight? How many times did Frazier and Ali go at it?
He was crazy.
Frazier Ali.
3 times.
I'm gonna throw this at y'all
3
real
times.
quick. I'm gonna throw this at y'all real quick. What athlete today would do what Muhammad Ali did? Would you risk your career and would you give it up
Too many endorsements, they wouldn't do it.
I believe in this, I'm not, same situation. You get drafted for a war. Same situation.
They wouldn't do it.
Would you do it? Would any athlete, not you guys, but would you think any athlete today, would they do that?
Probably not.
Depends
I don't
on the war. It
think they
depends
would.
on the war
I don't
too.
think they would.
You know
Because Vietnam was no punk. It wasn't like Iraq.
He didn't
Desert
believe
Storm. Not
cause of the
minimalizing the Iraqi Desert Storm, you know.
I don't
But
know, man.
Vietnam was a whole nother
He didn't
animal.
believe the cause
So it's
of the
easy
war.
to say, I don't want to go over there to fight because I'm standing up for my cause. Because you don't want to get drugged over it.
No, but he also
Okay.
said ain't no Vietnamese ever called me a nigga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a cause of
So
why
he
didn't
really
believe
stood
the
behind
war.
what he was.
Well, I guess the
saying.
whole thing is here. You, like Kevin said, you don't stand for nothing. You fall for anything. So, with that being said, Muhammad Ali, rest in peace. Another legend gone in, this year.
Yeah.
So
It was a blast.
toast to him again. Muhammad Ali. Moving on, let's discuss what happened to OKC, guys. So OKC leading, over Golden State in the beginning. It's a little,
3-1.
everybody thought they had it there, 3-1. What happened?
I'll kick it off. Choke. I mean, just that's that simple. 3-1. You had 3 games to end it. You got 2 superstars on your team. You got Durant and Westbrook. The job didn't get done.
Why didn't it
Period.
get done?
The job didn't get done. Period.
I really disagree on your choking, though.
I think
Go
it
ahead.
comes back to that same situation of Durant and Westbrook not being able to work together. They bump heads so much in their career because they don't have that cohesiveness that's needed on the court.
I agree.
And it really showed those last 3 games against Golden State. And, Durant is coming up for free agency, and he might be the one to move over to Los Angeles Lakers.
Hold on.
I appreciate that, first of all. I appreciate that.
I'm going to cut you off, Kevin, because
Yeah,
you
go
heard
ahead.
that LA, you
Yeah,
finna
go
go
ahead.
in.
Go ahead.
But let me go in, man. I disagree with the whole choking to a minor point. If Coach Pop had this team, that cohesiveness that you talked about, it came down on Billy Donovan, man. He got out-coached by Kirk. There's no way that you are up 3-1 and they come back and win. You got out-coached because you let your players come to
But isn't
come to
coaching
head.
somewhat overrated though? Isn't coaching overrated? You gotta
What that
execute.
happened with Pop?
But you gotta execute.
What did
It
happen
don't
with
matter.
Pop?
You don't execute. It don't matter.
lost to. Hey,
No.
let me
Don't
touch on
execute it,
that.
don't matter.
I'm not gonna blame the whole series on Billy Donovan because Billy Donovan made adjustments to put their
Right.
small ball on the court, which
He didn't have to go small ball.
disrupted
He didn't never went
Golden
small.
State. They disrupted Golden State with their small ball. Their small ball was bigger than Golden State, so it was working. I blame Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook because they have more NBA experience than Billy Donovan.
They took bad shots.
Secondly,
And the coach didn't stop it.
Secondly, they didn't put their teammates the same way they involved their teammates that went up 3-1. When they got to game 5, they stopped playing that hero ball. They played that hero ball. They were taking badass shots. They weren't involving their teammates, and they blew the series.
Okay,
That's
well
on Westbrook and Durant.
let's hold off on there. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll touch back on that when we get back. Stay tuned. Keep the humidor. We are here at Eduardo Limon's in Richton Park. I am Lady Les, wanting to invite you to come out to our last show, our season finale on June 18th. Diva Leaf will be there as well. We invite all of our cast members, anyone who's visited the show, or even if you haven't come out to the show, coming out and join us on June 18th for our last show. It'll be a great time, day party. Again, the Diva Leaf ladies will be there.
Guaranteed to
This is
be
Sandra.
epic. Hi, everybody. Come on out. You know how we get down. We're at lovely Eduardo Limon's. It's going to be a blast. Please don't miss out on it. That's our day party.
Come on out.
June 18th.
See you there.
Partying with a full panel. Diva
Yes.
Leaf, Humidor. Always in it. Don't miss it.
Here we go. We'll see you
Guaranteed to
then.
have a good time.
Come on out. Thank you. So we're back. We left off with OKC choking or not choking. I want to touch back with Kevin. Kevin, lead us from there, and then from there I also want to talk about going into Cleveland with Golden State. So
Okay, real quick. On this OKC series,
You said
I heard,
real quick.
I did say real quick. I heard Charles Barkley say that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant has to learn how to involve their teammates more, and they have to trust their teammates in big situations. You can't trust them when you're up 2-1, 3-1, right? You give everybody the ball and everybody's hunky-dory, right? But when it gets close and Golden State has won game 5, and you come back home game 6, you have to trust your teammates and play the same way.
You gotta learn how to close out, man.
They didn't do that.
You gotta
They
learn how
played
to
that
close
hero
out,
ball, and I blame them more so than Billy Donovan.
gotta learn how to close out.
Billy Donovan made an adjustment throughout the series. And he put them up 3-1. That's the adjustment Billy Donovan made. You can't expect Billy Donovan to make yet another adjustment.
So you want to
and
make
stop
one
Russell.
adjustment? That's it?
But
For the
at
series?
some point, your two all-stars have to. Your
Take
two
over.
all-stars
They have
have
to take
to
over.
understand
They
how
need to learn how to
win.
close out, and the coach needs to take control of his team.
Well, what-
Guess what?
what more you
He
want
gonna
them
be
to do?
saying bye-bye, and now they're still going to be there.
Right, losing.
Protect your
They're still
job.
gonna be there losing.
Protect your job as a coach.
OKC
Everybody
has,
can't be
OKC
Mike and
has,
Scotty, man.
OKC has reached their limits. They're not going no further, man. They're not. Now we can sugarcoat this as we want. They've reached their limits.
So you saying he should bounce?
Yeah,
Of course you gonna say that because you want him in LA.
I do actually.
L-
But seriously, them two need to split.
LG, you made a statement right now
Yeah,
about everybody can't.
everybody can't be Mike and Scotty, you know, and it's high expectations on those guys, on Westbrook and Durant.
True.
And once again, they dropped the ball.
Mike and Scotty had a system though. They had the triangle. So if things got out of hand, we just go back in the system. Everybody gonna get
Because
a shot.
who made him go back to the system? Phil. When is
Okay.
Billy Donovan gonna take control of
Feel
his
these
team?
nuts. Let me
Get
tell you
his
something.
team.
What do you
Let me tell you
want
something.
Billy Donovan to do?
I want him to be
It
the
still
coach.
comes down to great players know when to involve your teammates and when
Great
to take
players.
over.
It's still on the all-star.
It's all about it's all about when to let your teammates get involved, and when you see they pulling back and they not quite going, you got to step in and take control. That's the one thing, and I'm not a big Mike or Kobe fan, but I say that's one thing about those two. They knew what to do. As far as when their teammates wasn't doing the damn thing, they took over.
It wasn't always them.
But I'm saying,
You had great players
I
and
just
you had
said,
great coaches.
but wait, I just said when they
You
weren't
can't
doing
put
the
that
thing,
on coaches,
they know when to, they
I'm not putting it all on
knew when to
coaches,
take over
but a
because
coach
Mike
knows when to settle his team down.
because Mike, and that's one of my only knocks with LeBron. He has to learn the same thing. You got to know when to be that
LeBron.
dog,
Right.
when to be that beast, And when to let
I'll
your
give you that.
teammates do.
So speaking of beast, speaking of LeBron,
Okay.
what is it with now LeBron playing against Golden State? What is it with LeBron and everyone hating on LeBron right now? What's going on with that?
This is a two-way question because actually people are hating on LeBron and Steph Curry right now. But since you asked about LeBron, I'll say this. LeBron James is an outright crybaby.
Oh
He is
my
the
God.
biggest crybaby in the
Here we
league.
go. Everybody cry. Everybody want those calls.
LeBron James, while being the best player in the league, we all agree with that, right?
Yes,
He's the
yes.
best player in the league.
Definitely.
Head to toe, right?
Yes.
But he is the biggest crybaby I've ever seen in my life.
Passionate
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Passionate players. Passionate players.
Everybody's passionate. You're in the NBA. Everybody's
Mike
passionate.
cried.
Everybody's
Everybody's
passionate.
crying. Kobe cried if he went to the city crying.
Everybody,
All the great players
everybody
want
wants a car. Here's the difference. Everybody wants a car because they're superstars. They think they're supposed to get a car. Everybody got an ego. There's a difference in having an ego than crying and flopping
And how about
acting
this
every
too?
single call that happens on
He's
the court.
putting his teammates on the back when he goes and addresses the referees. He goes to his teammates.
He doesn't
says,
address the referees.
Hold on. He goes to he says, listen, let me take care of it. Don't y'all go on the referees and be
That's
complaining
one thing
about the
LeBron
referees.
don't.
Because
LeBron
they're not
can't
gonna
take
call
care
that
of
tech.
the players.
They didn't call that tech on Mike.
on his
They didn't
back.
call that tech on Kobe because they the voice of the team.
Right, they won't
Make these
call
calls
text
for
on
us.
They won't
Come
call
on.
text on LeBron.
Come on, man.
Actually-
Slap him on the ass. Jordan used to do that all the time. Slap him on the ass, but he whined into that rep.
What?
And he took that.
No.
What you say?
No homo. My bad. He slapped him on the ass like,
No,
good
no,
call.
yeah.
What you doing wrong?
Michael, I'm gonna give you the difference. Michael Jordan, and let me see if y'all agree with this. Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. Matter of fact, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, and Gary Payton used to cuss the refs out, point at them the whole night. Them was three players that used to outright cuss the refs out and never got technicals. Well, Gary Payton did, but Mike and them used to cuss the ref out. LeBron is not demonstrative like that towards the ref. What LeBron does is, if somebody bumps him, LeBron flies off into the damn near the crowd. If LeBron fouls somebody,
You're supposed to play
he
the
runs up, he throws his hands up
You're
like Dennis
supposed to
Rodman,
play
act
the
like he
ref.
didn't foul. Then you watch the replay, and LeBron then clotheslined him up.
So you trying to tell me if we
Come
go
on,
back
man.
to the archives
Come on, man.
and see you playing,
Stop crying, bro.
you didn't go flying when somebody fouled you?
No,
Come on, man.
I like that.
So
Come on,
then,
man.
I like
with LeBron being playing against Golden State right now, and they lost. What do you guys think about
Hold
this
on,
next
they
game?
didn't
Game
lose.
one,
They
game
got that
one.
ass.
Okay.
They actually
got
lost
they
to
got
the
their
bench.
ass beat.
They lost to the bench. Here's a telling stat, and I'm gonna ask the Cleveland fans over here to dispute me.
Call me a fan.
Dispute me on this.
Bulls guys.
Right.
Go ahead.
Cleveland lost to Golden State. Watch this. Cleveland lost to Golden State's bench. They didn't lose to Steph Curry. They didn't necessarily lose to
They
Draymond
game
Green.
plan properly.
They didn't necessarily lose to
That won't
Klay
happen.
Thompson. They lost to Livingston, Barbosa.
Livingston.
They lost to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if their big three, so to speak, didn't even have a good game and they lost to the bench, what's going to happen when Steph and Klay have a good
Go
game
back to a
along
couple
with
of
the
shows,
That's
Kev.
why I
See,
said the game.
the big three on Cleveland relatively had a good game.
No,
You go back to what I said. You go back to what I said
Kevin
a couple
Love
shows
was
before.
No,
I
Love
said
actually
they got
did.
the
Love was
best
only one.
bench in the league, and I've been saying that for about 3 or 4 shows.
So how does Cleveland respond to that?
Okay, I'll step in on that. Here's what everybody realizes. Klay and Steph didn't have a good game. I get that. Livingston, Barbosa, Barnes, and Iguodala played great.
Killed him.
They haven't done that all year, so we're saying that they're going to do that all series. But you're also looking at Channing Frye only played 7 minutes, only took 1 shot. J.R. Smith took 4 shots. Hold on.
Part of their bench.
Wait,
Since we
hold
talking about the
on.
bench.
One of the best 3-point shooters in the playoffs right now took 1 shot.
Why?
Wait, it don't matter why. The same reason Klay and Steph got shut down. The same reason Klay and Steph got shut
They
down.
didn't get shut down. They missed a lot of shots.
Bullshit. The same way Klay was throwing up bricks and then Steph was shooting
They
air
missed
balls.
shots.
God damn it, it ain't gonna happen every game.
Are you
The
trying
That
to
shit
tell
is
me?
not gonna happen every game.
7 games.
You all are taking 1 game, you're taking 1 game, and don't forget, like this man right here, Kev said, that San Antonio was gonna fuck OKC up.
I did.
When San Antonio blew OKC out.
I actually said that when the series was tied 1-1.
When they
He didn't throw that part.
won, when they won, when San Antonio won Game 1 by 32 points, everybody said it was over, it was done. You all riding on that same bullshit because Game 1, okay, yeah. Oh, Golden State bench outplayed Cleveland's bench. Do you really believe? J.R. Smith gonna only take 4 shots the rest of this series?
He hurt his
Do you believe Shannon Frye gonna play 7 the rest of this series?
But you have to look.
You think LeBron gonna shoot 6 for 21 the rest of this series? Stop.
You can't count on Barbosa. You can't count on Barbosa.
So then if they're not going to continue playing the same game every time, what's going to happen in Game 2?
Game 2, I'm expecting Cleveland to continue with the defense. Like they
What
did
defense?
What they shut down Curry. And they shut down the 2 best players.
Curry took 17 shots. You don't shut nobody down for taking 17 shots. He missed shots.
Exactly. Because of defense. Because of defense. If he was open, he would hit them shots. But because of defense, he missed those shots. And I'm expecting the same thing in Game 2. For them to play defense, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, for those guys to play defense on Curry and on, what's the other guy?
Hold on.
Slash brother.
Hold on.
Clay.
Clay Thompson.
Did you say Kyrie shut
Well,
Curry
hold
down?
on. Let's
He
say
was on half the game.
let's say
When we come back, man, I gotta say something about left.
We're gonna save that for
Man,
when
if
we
you
come
ever say
back.
Shannon Frye again, man, I'll come over here and smack you myself.
How about
We'll save that for when we come back. We'll save that for when we come back.
How about you
We're gonna
stand
do
for
a what's on your mind
Shit
segment,
yourself, nigga.
and you
Did he
can
just
continue
say
back with
Shannon
us.
Frye?
We'll see you back. We'll see you back.
Give me those sports. Did he just say Shannon Frye?
Welcome back. We left off with talking about Game 1 with Golden State and Cleveland. Want to know what you guys' predictions are. Who's going to take it? Do you want to start that off, Kevin?
I kick it off. I think Golden State will win this series in 6 games.
Yes.
Game 1 was kind of a preview that Golden State simply has the better bench. Now, I'm not saying that Livingston is going to score 20, 25 every game. That's probably not going to happen. That's not his norm. But what will happen is Livingston, Mo Spates, Harrison Barnes, Mo Buckets, I'm sorry. Harrison Barnes, anybody can go off at any given time on Golden State's bench. The only key contributor on Cleveland's bench would be A, J.R. Smith, B, Shannon Frye.
J.R. Smith start.
Oh, here we go with
No, J.R.
Shannon
Smith.
Frye.
J.R. Smith
I'm just saying,
Oh my God.
I'm just going down the bench. They picked up Richard Jefferson for a reason.
Shumpert.
Shumpert needs to probably play more. But their bench is going to have to show, man. And right now, Golden State is showing you Steph Curry and Klay Thompson ain't even got busy yet. When they get busy and they insert themselves in the series, game over.
All right.
Cleveland get 2 out of them, though.
I like, the game going 7 series. I like Cleveland to take it in game 7 because I think the physicality and athleticism is going to take its toll on Golden State. And I think Cleveland can get the job done in 7 games. Tyronn Lue will make adjustments. This first game, which was a loss for Cleveland, it was maybe the lights were a little bit too bright for the coaching staff of Cleveland. And they'll turn around, they'll make adjustments. And
Quick question.
I am getting
the athleticism and the physicality of Cleveland will take over, and they'll take it out in game 7.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Cleveland is going to win game 7 at Golden State for the NBA championship.
That's correct.
What?
Do you really think the league, not only Golden State, but do you really think the league will let that happen?
King James, baby.
Marinate.
Oh, yeah. King
Marinate that
James.
for
He's
me.
been the poster child of the NBA for the last 10 years.
Who's the poster child right now?
Co-poster child.
So,
Say that.
game
Because
7,
the NBA still has
they're
man
not
love
going
for
to let
LeBron
Steph
James.
lose game 7.
Golden
No
State,
way they'll
baby.
do that.
Golden State will win. I might even go with you, LG, and say it's on go 7. Surprised that I'm going there agreeing with the light skinned dude over here that's going against his
Here
own.
we go again.
I gotta throw that out there, man. They probably mad at you right now, man. They mad at
That's Sterling
Golden
Silver
State.
over here talking shit.
you. Golden State will win it all.
His shirt ain't tight today.
Period.
How many games you got? How many games you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and go 7 because it's a moneymaker. Everybody is watching the game all over the country, overseas. They going for it, but Golden State will win. Because they have the better team.
Really don't care.
They really do.
Really don't care what they want. I'm still going with Cleveland in 6. I said at the beginning. I'm still saying it now. Cleveland will make the adjustment.
Cleveland in 6?
Cleveland will make the adjustment in game 2. There's no way that Golden State's bench is going to outscore Cleveland's bench by 35 every game this series. The benches will, the starters will,
Why not?
the starters will balance out. Stars balance out. I still think Cleveland's bench and Golden State's bench at some point is going to even out. But I think LeBron, Kyrie, and Love
They're not ready
will
for the bright
take
lights.
LeBron, Kyrie, and Love will take it over.
I'm sorry,
I'm saying what I feel. I think Cleveland takes game 2. I think they go 3-1. I'm
They
giving
really
the
I'm
next
sorry, not to
three.
interrupt. Not to interrupt.
Kevin
Not to
Love
interrupt.
I give the next three.
Not to interrupt. Not to interrupt.
I give the next
step up.
If they win in 6, you telling me Cleveland about to win 4 out of the next 5 games?
Yes, I said it.
Okay, so then we have, it's 2 and 2.
Oh my God!
Damn, motherfucker.
Cleveland and then
Oh
Golden
my
State.
God.
So we'll see when we come back for that season
Go
finale.
Bulls.
To wrap up the show, first of all, I do want to thank LG for coming back on the show. Thank you, LG. So LG, if you don't mind, we're gonna wrap up the segment with the What's on Your Mind. Can you kick that off for us?
Yeah, what's on my mind? We all sitting here, Sox fans. You see we all got our Sox hats on. And I'm talking about their start. They first had a 6-game lead in the American League Central. Since they lost 10 out of the last 12 games. And I think they might need to ride their coach, what's his coach?
Robert Ventura.
Robert Ventura. Ride him out of town, just like they took Mark Trestman out of town, just like they need to take Fred Hoiberg out of town. Get him out of here, bring Ozzie back, so we can get this Sox-Cubs World Series where we all desire here in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's go, Ben.
Well, check it out. I'm going off a little bit with what's on my mind. This is my plea to all the artists that's out there, the sports figures, with all the craziness that's going on, especially here in Chicago, Chirac, if you want to call it that. I need you guys to start stepping up and speaking your mind instead of just playing the game or entertainment business. Come out and speak on the violence that's going on instead of sitting back and just enjoying your money or whatever. Because these youth, they listen to you all more than ever than in my day. You know, you have to step up and support our youth. Because if we don't support our youth, we are in a world of trouble. I'm all about the youth.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I want to touch on a situation that has nothing to do with Chicago. I want to touch on a situation with Baylor. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Baylor University is going through some rape allegations to where their football coach, the football program, and the football coach just got fired. The president fired. The chancellor was reassigned. The chancellor did a live interview a day ago, and he admitted that a girl sent him an email and said she was raped. He originally said, I may have gotten it, I may not, maybe I didn't look at it. And then they did a pause, and he came back because his lawyers now told him to say he didn't know if he got it. So he came right back on camera and said, I have no recollection of it. It's a disgrace when you send your child to college and you think they're down there getting an education and things happen that football players run amok. It's ridiculous. I want to see the NCAA do something about it. The NCAA will suspend a player for selling his jersey or a coach paying for a meal for a parent. Do something about college women getting sexually assaulted and raped. I want to see how the NCAA responds to this. It's ridiculous. Baylor should not even have a football team. I want to see the NCAA's response to this. I'm very curious to see how everything shakes out.
I agree.
Well, I'll close it out. So we saw the release of the new Roots, the new version of Roots. Something that personally I watched as a kid, and you know it touched me in a lot of different ways. So I will say, me as an adult in my old age, I don't need to see it anymore. 12 Years a Slave, Django, all that. I don't need to see it anymore. but I think it's very important for the younger generation. So I am happy that they made a new version that maybe the younger people can relate to and that they will watch and realize the struggles of black people and what we've been through. And hopefully it will change their mentality and the way they view things and think about America and things like that. But, you know, like I said, at the same time, I heard Snoop and what he said, and it was a good point, but Snoop is our age. Yeah, we don't need to see it anymore. You know, we saw LeVar Burton play Kunta Kinte and all that. You know, we saw the whole nine, you know, all the versions of Roots, the 1, 2, 3, Queen, and this, that, and the other. But for the younger people, I think it's very important that you sit your children down, let them watch that version. Maybe it's something they can relate to a little better with the more up-to-date actors and actresses in it. And hopefully, it's just a small part of what could change what's going on right now. Because right now, really, the mentality of the younger generation is terrible. You know, so I know it did a lot for me as a kid watching Roots, and I watched it plenty of times, like thousands and thousands of times. Even now, it still comes on. But I do applaud them for, you know, making a newer version, something they can kind of relate to, with kind of the people and the actors and actresses they can relate to, the younger generation. And hopefully, man, they can make somewhat of a difference in what's going on today.
All right.
Bro, damn. Y'all better talk all deep and shit.
I do want to thank our viewers, our subscribers for having followed us or watched our show, maybe if it was once or throughout this whole season. We do have one more show to go, our season finale coming up in the next 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys as always. Once again, this is the Humidor. Be on the lookout for us for our last season finale show, and then we'll see you soon. Take care.
Saturday, June 18th. Water Lamont, season finale, Saturday, June 18th. Water Lamont, Saturday, June 18th. Water Lamont.
Bear down.
Check it out. Watch me on In the Lab. Be Smooth _ Humidor.
Cigar Life 33, Twitter, holla at me.
Hey, check me out, Lefty's Logic, and Lefty_Humidor.com. Check me out on Twitter. Check us out, Humidor Sports and Cigars page. We're gonna be on there, man. Season 1, it's gonna be great. June 18th, man. Come join us for now.
Yes. See you then.